Alrighty. Getting the show on the road. And one last thing. There we go. Alrighty. So, in about an hour from now, we're getting some Canadian data and US retail sales. Let me real quick switch my... yeah, you guys are probably gonna have to check out the stream there on the Discord, right? Alrighty. Well, good morning, guys. Morning, Isaac. Morning, Ahmed. Let me get the chat going here. Moneybags. There we go. Nice and easy and simple and laid back and straightforward, as things should be. But some people are panicking this morning. I got some messages saying, "Hey Joe, what the hell's going on? Why is things moving the way that they're moving?" That's what I'm here for. So kind of just to address immediately what was talked about here in the Discord before the stream started. USD CAD is going up and away. Positive yield differential, you're back at this high. I mentioned back here there was definitely enough time in the month for us to come back up here, and I said, hey, if you got positive yield differentials, you're gonna have to step out here. And you can actually see that this trade is technically in drawdown. I only say technically because this isn't like the perfect setup for the drawing doesn't perfectly represent the position. It's like 1 or 2 pips off, and it's like a pip off. Let's see. I'm not going to adjust it right now because I got other things that I'm watching. And I might actually want to add into this instead of actually taking the trade off. Because it's still pretty likely that the top's in. I know yield differentials are positive right now, but if the expectation for a weaker US dollar actually materializes this time around, right? Then, let's see. Yeah, your target would be pretty dramatic to the downside. We can look at our closing odds. Around 75% of the time, you end the month below this 75% line. So pretty good odds that the high is also in. I mean, your high had a good probability of coming in right here, right at the beginning of the month. That's kind of the point of where this stop was, because instead of going short and then holding the drawdown all the way to up here for like 0.9%, you're only holding it for like around 0.5%, 0.6%, 60 basis points versus 90 basis points. And usually when price comes up into this area, you see continuation for another 40, 50 basis points. So that was a smart move. But this is a bit on the annoying side. One opportunity a lot of us are looking at is Aussie dollar longs. Real quick, let me set this to 5,000 so it loads the maximum amount of historical data points. You can see we're like right at the edge of where the bump in this distribution is. So either this thing gets bought up from here, or at least goes sideways from here and then drifts up into the end of the month, or it's kind of screwed. it can bottom out anywhere in here for the month. And you're dealing with a wider degree of uncertainty. Lower probabilities spread across a wide price range creates some uncertainty. We can go to a week on this pair, and this looks very, very similar to New Zealand dollar, by the way. You can see how well it is holding up from these lows made here right at the beginning of the week. There is a long trade. We slept on here, at least that I did. And you can see why I got my stop there. And it also lines up with the monthly range probability lows. So this still looks good to me. If you check out New Zealand, we're going to be looking at a little bit of research and going a bit in depth on the Australian side of things. But just so people don't, fucking forget what we talked about literally yesterday. RBNZ's not expected to hike. They're not expected to do jack. Their economy is still getting hit really hard on the growth side. Remember, they're still kind of recovering from what was it? It's a hurricane, right? It's not, yeah, I believe it's a hurricane that hit them. Had huge floodings. I saw some of the videos. It's horrible. I mean, if you want to talk natural disasters, might as well bring up Maui, but that's not as big of an economic hit to the United States as it is New Zealand when they got hit. Anyways, New Zealand dollar for the week hit a likely low. Ideally, the trade for this would be somewhere like this, and then you're putting your stop like there and taking this for what it'll give you. Yeah, and this is making me seriously consider doing more limits. I probably need to set up more limits at these peaks in these distributions, and just because see how quickly it comes right in and right on out. It happens all too frequently. Like back here during this week, I think that was a likely low right there. It rallied for about a day and then came all the way down, continued moving lower. But there are these little bounces that occur, and they occur, freaking fast. So, if you're snappy and you got alerts set up or you got limits set up at these levels, when you have those snaps, when you have those wicks, it can be quite rewarding. Looks like pound is holding up. Euro is holding up. Aussie and New Zealand are holding in there. And it looks like dollar yen is doing its thing. It's probably topped out for the week here. If you're on the bullish side, it's like this indicator indicates it's a time to be cautious. But going up to here would be the next target if you're a bull. So what would that be? It's like 146.5. Yeah. For a bear, your target you'd want to see 44. The 144 handle flat. Yeah. Looks pretty straightforward to me for the week on USD yen. So the only currency pair that US dollar is very definitively strengthening against is the Canadian. And it's probably because we're getting some information on Bank of Canada expectations for their rate hikes. The pike on, let's see here. Oh, let's pull up Financial Juice. There's some good stuff here. Okay. Stocks and bonds decline as China rate cut worsens gloom. So we click here. And yeah, we can just zoom in massively. All right. As worries rose that China's sputtering recovery and debt issues will extend to the global economy, stocks and bonds fell. China's unexpected rate cut didn't calm investors' concerns about policy measures to boost the economy. Instead, it increased them, sending Europe's Stoxx 600 index down to the lowest level in a month. U.S. equities futures pointed to a decline at the market opening. World bonds decreased, so their yields went high, and peak rate bets to 6% after UK jobs data. And peak rate bets to 6% after UK jobs data. Gotcha. So people are not happy with the movement out of China. Well, that's a huge bummer, especially if you're in Australia or New Zealand, where most of your exports go to China. Makes sense, right? I see Ahmed in the chat. Hello, Joe. How the yield, what? Flibbing. It seems to me that flibs with the price. I don't know what you mean. Yeah, I'm watching stream chat and I'm watching Discord chat. So, yeah, all that's good. Good. Let's move forward. Let's actually go ahead and actually check out. I can switch back to. There we go. So for the week, this is S&P. If you're expecting lower prices, that might not be the worst spot in the world. That's effectively just above 4,400. So if China is expected to continue getting worse, and that actually does lead to horrible market expectations developing, that would be this. China cut. NASDAQ. Let's check that out for the week. Ooh, just barely tapped that zone. That would have been, and that would have been a great long too. Wow. Okay. So I guess right now it just depends on how things are drifting. I'd say that you get maybe a bit more of a positive drift. I don't know. Let's check it out for the month. Are we at a monthly low here? Ooh, yeah, we're kind of in nowhere land. Yeah, when you get into this zone here, figuring out where the low is for the month becomes a lot more difficult to figure out. So you could go past 15. Yeah, this is like a be careful sort of situation. If we check it out for the day, let's see how the day's gone. Let's see how the day has gone by. Oh, I want this to be also 5,000. All right, check that out. Likely low for the day on NASDAQ. Likely low for the day on NASDAQ. Likely top for the day on NASDAQ. So that was an easy short, and this looks like it's going to be an easy long. Right? I don't think you're going to be able to actually get that price. So let me set it like right now, and then take it to end of day and see how that works out. See how much, see if it'll actually even give you a rebound or anything. And there's your stop at your lower probabilities where you see this more dull color come in. Dow really got smacked. So you can tell that Dow really didn't like that China news, did they? All right, just waiting for the indicator to show up on screen. There we go. Yeah, that looks like a decent spot to hop in. This looks like a better trade than NASDAQ, in my opinion. Yeah, this looks much better than NASDAQ, especially if it bounces just a little bit. And you can arguably set a tighter stop on this one, but what? It's like a 92 point stop. You could set it to like 50, 60. I don't know, somewhere around here is probably just fine. But yeah, that looks like an even better trade for the day. And note how I'm not looking back, right? I'm just looking at this indicator, looking where the most probable low is likely to be, and I'm just looking forward and managing my risk right now and where I think, oh, here's the profit potential for this trade going out into the rest of the day. That's it. I could look back at these lows, but based off the new developing information, new information and new economic data is not included in this historical price. It's not. So, you could say, oh, news doesn't matter. Just buy these lows. We're at the low of some range. I'm looking at this and I'm like, yeah, we're at the low of a range, but not this range. We're at the low of your distribution where most of your lows occur for the day. If we pull it up for the week, we may see some more bearishness, is my prediction. Yeah, you can see where we're at right now. Sure, for the day, we might see a little bit of a rebound, but going into the next couple of days here on the NQ, you could end up down here Wednesday, Thursday, and then, yeah, you could end up down here by that time. And the reason why I'm saying that is simply put, you can probably just see this negative drift coming in. It doesn't look very auto-correlated, a very negative considerably negative auto-correlation at the moment. So if you do get looks like if you do get any auto-correlation, it'll probably be negative. And if you do get a down move, this is the next most likely area you're going to see it. At least, again, based off these indicators, not financial advice, all that good stuff. Again, whenever you're watching someone do their analysis, it's their analysis for, educational purposes, entertainment purposes. Your trades and your interpretations have to come autonomously from yourself. I can't be pressing buttons for you. And I don't want to, frankly. I don't do that. I don't want to take on that risk. Let's go ahead and check out Europe 50. Now the news from Financial Juice said that Euro stocks got hit especially hard. And you can see that they got hit pretty hard, kind of like how the DAX did. And you're also back here at whatever lows. But let's see if we're at a likely low for the day. All right, there's our high odd. Looks pretty sparse up there, doesn't it, eh? Wow. What's going on with the indicator here? Is it not like... Yeah, we're loading 5,000 bars. What's the big deal? I guess we might not have all the historical data we need. Let's try this, because I don't like seeing these weird gaps. Wow, it just updated. Yeah, so I wonder what's going on with the Euro stocks on this chart. because that doesn't look right. And why it's bugging out on this one chart, yeah, no clue. Oh, let's try turning that off. And turning that off. Nope, it's not changing a thing. Well, I guess we got to find another chart for our stocks. Let's see here. And we have gaps in this data, so yeah, we'll see if that affects it. This data looks much, much better. So this broker has much better data, apparently. Apparently. Yeah. And you're going to see how changing this setting fixes this situation here, where it just looks like a one big blob. Yeah. It forcefully limits the indicator from drawing past a certain spot. Let's go 40. Let's think 10,000 simulations. We don't need to run 24,000 simulations because we're streaming. We just need this indicator to load fast. Oh, wow. If my eyes don't deceive me, when we actually load a chart that has proper historical data on it, you can actually see a bump here right now at the low saying, oh, this could be a low for the day. Let's check up on this thing tomorrow, see how that does. We can even put the stop even a little closer. All right, let's just see how it does going into the end of the day. Let's do one more thing. Update that to a 5,000 look back, and then all that should be well. So yeah, it seems like close to 90% of the time you close above this price. There's your 10% probability, right? Yeah. So that's your 10% probability line. And that's simply saying, hey, 10% of closes come in below this line. So that implies 90% of the time you end the trading day somewhere above here. So if we do that, anticipating that we end the day somewhere up here nominally, yeah, that should work out just fine. So long this is actually low. And looking at the odds, and this isn't a real trade, right? I'm just doing a chart, a mock, and I'm saying like, oh, you know, based off what I'm seeing, based off what I'm interpreting, based on these indicators, based, you know, caveat, all that good stuff. All right, next one. Oh, so that's just the spider. Let's keep going down. Let's skip these. That's basically euro. So here's the Australian stock market. Wow, that looks horrible compared to the euro. Yeah, see, that's been down like the last 6-7 hours. And then when you check out the S&P, you know, it's also been down for like the last about 8 hours now, 7-8 hours. You look here, and this has been going down for like the last 10, 9 or 10 hours. It's been pretty bad here for the Aussies. And man, yeah, catching a short there. This is why you use the gray zones as your stop. All right, looking at these lows, and wow, check that out. Another likely low for the day coming in. Let's go ahead and set up our theoretical trade. And today, just arbitrarily. Okay. So what's this? It's about 75% of the time you close the day above that line. Yeah, that sounds pretty all right. And then Japan, the Nikkei. What do they have to say? Go ahead and wait for this thing to load. If you guys got ahead and give a request. I see Pascal in the audience over here on the Discord. Oh wow, yeah, this thing might want to slide a little bit more. A little bit more. But the fact that it hasn't gone down far enough, quote unquote, by this point in time, you could end up with just this slight negative drift. Going all the way up here is very unlikely. Doing something like that, or that. Getting some quote unquote continuation of the drift. So whether this is, so this looks like it'll probably be negative drift, so it'll probably just drift lower. It'll probably go to these lows. Buying lows at the end of a period ain't usually the smartest thing in the world. Unless you're anticipating like bullish, like if you're all the way up here and you're expecting it the next day to also be bullish, it's like, all right, you know. But then at that point, you're trading momentum and you're probably using a higher time frame. Okay, doke. And we already checked out dollar on the higher time frames. Let's check it out real quick here on the daily. Also, I can move this over there so it's not in the way, but it's still there. Okay. So, looks like dollar might be getting a little bit of its bounce back here. What's interesting that I see on this chart is that dollar's been getting marginally weaker, but when you check all these exchange rates, right? This is dollar getting stronger, this is dollar getting weaker, this is dollar getting a little stronger than, well, a little weaker than a little stronger, and then this is dollar getting stronger, and then this is dollar getting stronger, and it's like everything's very mixed right now. And that's what makes it hard to actually decide what should I fade, what shouldn't I fade, unless you go and you open Financial Juice and actually figure out what it is that you're trading. Because if you don't know what it is you're trading, you're not going to be able to make basic, competent decisions about, oh, you know, there's actually some extra risk assigned to trading this asset that isn't on the chart or in the statistics. Because we haven't priced those in yet, but we are about to, because it's brand new information. And when new information actually comes out, and you generally know the whether it's good or bad for an asset, that comes down to how competent you are. Super straightforward to be like, oh man, this is, you know, Aussie dollar. It looks like that they're getting more, a little more panel. Go ahead and bring this up. So here's RBA's stuff. This is their meeting minutes. Members agreed that the argument to leave the cash rate unchanged at this meeting was the stronger one instead of hiking. At the same time, members agreed that it was possible that some further tightening of monetary policy might be required to ensure that inflation returns to target within a reasonable time frame. So this is what's got everyone tripped up, and if you read Financial Juice, you would have known that. And then we're looking at, let's see here. First impressions of RBNZ survey. We'll check that out in just a bit. Minutes to RBA August meeting strike a more optimistic tone. Some further tightening remains possible, but looks unlikely barring a major shift in the inflation situation and outlook. So if we go ahead and we check this out, this is the whole bulletin. And then we can just read the conclusion there if you want. It's just a one-page outlook. How simple can that be? Okay. So the big economic event that can help decide the movement of the currency and the movement of growth in Australia is the CPI coming out at the end of the month here. And I believe that's coming. We go back to our charts and we check out our economic calendar here. Let's see, I can make this hopefully a bit wider for you guys on the stream. Yep, it's all good. Let's see here. So that's Canada. That's coming up real shortly here. US, more Canada. You know, Canadian inflation, a bunch of microeconomic indicators for the US. RBNZ interest rate. And that's employment. That's PPI. That's Japanese inflation on the 17th, which is Thursday. So probably next week, right? Yeah, looks like they're talking about something going on next week. Retail sales. Cool. Yeah, I probably should have just done the search by country, right? By Australia. Anyways, looks like Australia is going to be holding in there. Not too much. I'm not anticipating too much movement. If you guys want me to check out a chart, now is the Discord chat or in the live stream chat and say hi, right? By the way, once the stream is over, I'll still be here in the Discord. So if any of you guys want to hang out for like another hour or so and potentially trade those Canadian inflation numbers with me, we'll be doing that here when they release. Let's see. No requests. Euro New Zealand. All right, James. Yeah, it came all the way down and then all the way back up because Euro got much stronger. But it makes sense when you look at it, right? That's a likely low for the week. You really wanted to, I mean, in all seriousness, if you wanted to go short, you probably want this to go to a high. You want to be shorting a high, right? So either shorting right here off rip roar the open of the week, something along these lines, right? Because I did not take that trade. That was just an example. So something along these lines. I don't know how far down you would look. Or something along these lines. Where probably closer to the middle of the week. You're kind of looking at a short right there. And then probably taking this down to the end of the period. So kind of like an up and then a down. Like that. It'll probably be a less dramatic down. Let's check out our probability of closing in this area. I would not be surprised if we effectively close the week sideways on this pair. Absolutely not. Would not be surprised if we close pretty much sideways. 1.84, if that's the entry, I think that'd be pretty decent, right? This is this is exactly the 1.84 level. Look at that. 1.84 right there at the major probability spot. Oh, yeah, my bad. Forgot about the Discord getting in the way. Thanks for saying something, James. Yeah. But there's nothing more to elaborate on other than up. Yeah, go to 184 for the week. There's a shot for people who want to go short. And yeah. Something like that. That could be an option. Because it doesn't seem like we're getting the bearish continuation from here. But it does seem like this might be a scenario you fade. Because if that information's to be believed with what's going on in China, that's going to really hurt expectations. The question is time frame. How quickly will it hurt economies relatively? And that's really where you need to have an actual economic model that is crunching the numbers and telling you to what degree the Chinese economy is actually slowing down or not. Let's see. Aussie CAD. That'll be an interesting one. All the Canadian pairs are on the, quote unquote, interesting side of things. Huh. Yeah, yield differentials on this one seem a bit mixed. Certainly looks like it could go a bit higher for the week. I want to check it out for the month first. See if we're at a likely low, because we've already moved quite low. 170 pips already to the downside. Oh, yeah, that's right. This is one of those charts that doesn't have a whole lot of historical data. Hopefully I'll automate that in the next update. Making good progress on version 1.2 of the indicator. I'm having to rewrite some things, more like move things around and put them into more compact pieces of code. So then I can maneuver around the code base better. So, taking a little longer than expected, but that's usually how programming goes anyway. You say you want it done in a day or two, and you're motivated to get it done in a day or two, and then you realize, well, shit, in order to get this done properly, it's going to take me about an extra day. So, that's just how the world works, but I'm going to be behind this code for a good while, so I want it to be clean and easy to access and, easy to manipulate, do what I need to do with it. Yeah, I would not be super happy as a bull here, because you probably would have been stopped out on a long ride around here. Yeah, this does not look fantastic. This does not look fantastic at all on that monthly. You're kind of in the middle of nowhere land. You did hit a likely low on the week, so you could have taken a shot there very, very easily. And it wouldn't have lined up with the expectation for the month, but like very, very conservatively, you could have said, oh, it's right there at the edge of this peak. It's like, yeah, it's literally at the edge of where this hump occurs. So downside, still an opportunity. But when you check it out on the week, the low for the week could very likely be in. CAD yen, sure thing, my man. Okie doke. Well, we had a long trade here, it seems. So that long trade hit target. The low could be in, the top could be in. Yeah, this is the sort of situation where just going long or short at the break of a new high or low for the week makes sense, right? Right? Going long past this high to this spot right here. Something like that. Let's see here. 15. Now, I am bearish yen still. Because, they're still doing a lot of monetary easing. Their yields aren't still super fantastic. When the Bank of Japan adjusts monetary policy, things move. All the other times, yen's just getting weaker. Because that's just the net flow of things. So, net, I would not be surprised to see additional weakness here, especially if you break to a new high. Otherwise, if we look at our closing probabilities, yeah, man, this is quite a range here. You can diddle around and you can lose quite a lot of money here. Trying to go long here, trying to go short there. Like, it's a lot easier just to think, oh, I should sell a likely top, I should buy a likely bottom, instead of just trying to, force a trade based off how you think things are gonna move. This is all right. Short trade's all right too, on the breakdown like this. Right? The short trade's fine there too. It's just, oh, didn't mean to move it like that. Just less profit on the table, unless you have a really tight stop on that. Yeah. So, that's actually fairly reasonable. Yeah, it's a fairly reasonable setup. So, yeah, go ahead. I don't see why not. And that's not me giving you permission, that's just me reflexively saying, go ahead. Kind of like, to myself. Yeah, that looks like that looks totally plausible. Now, one thing I really don't like when I watch other people give their trading commentary, because I watch a lot of trading commentary, is when people do this, right? They have their up expectation, their bullish expectation, and their bearish expectation. I'm the type of guy who will try and say, pick a side and go with that as your expectation. So I would just straight up delete this, but I have like one little nitpick, and that if you have an explicit entry condition, like breaking above that high, or an explicit short condition, breaking below this low, this thing could go sideways, and then neither of these trades occur, right? So, yeah, this is set up just fine. I think there's I'm forgetting the name of the options strategy setup for this. Maybe someone in the chat can type it up. We have a lot of news regarding union strikes. Gotcha. So, do you think the union strike thing is what's moving the Canadian dollar here? Yeah, man, looking at this on the week, I would not be surprised to see like a spike up, and then this thing just rolls over lower for the rest of the month, potentially. Let's timestamp these things. Yeah. Okay, so that'd be a slightly better short, compared to here, right? That was just lucky. This could actually be somewhat skillful, right? Getting the short up here, likely top for the month, likely top for the week. Just need it to push a little bit more. Let's unhide this, put this like right. Let's just put it here for now. Lock that because I want to do a new drawing. Yeah, something like that. And then a stop probably around there. And you really could take this to end of month, right? But that would be the setup that I'm thinking about. You guys think that's relatively all right? At least I do. All right, let's go ahead and undo that, and that's fine to the upside. Yeah, that makes it a little more legible, in my opinion. Removing it for that, sometimes you gotta untick this or retick it. It just depends on the chart. Not all charts behave the same, which is quite annoying on TradingView, but at least I got some easy fixes. Like, oh, you have to press a single button and all your problems go away. Wouldn't life be amazing if that was the answer? Press this button and all your problems will go away, I promise. And it's free. It's like that game, you press this button, get $100,000 and lose a year of your life, right? Except it doesn't have... what if it's just a game that's just one of those useless buttons? What if trading is like that? You just, bounce pressing buttons. Yeah. Kind of on the rant, on the ramble now, but that's only kind of because I'm getting a little bored. We're kind of going through everything here. Let me go through the rest of these charts here. So for the week, oh, this is probably a good spot to actually turn on the min range. So see how it gives you all this tail risk? It's going to find where that 1% lies. Yep, and there you go. Caps it off, makes this all a lot more readable. I think I probably want to look at the monthly setup and then look at the daily setup. Okay, low for the month, probably, and you could even tighten this up a little bit more to like 1880. And let's look at it at the day. I gotta get the kitty cat cam. I gotta put the face cam on and put it on the cat because I got a little bed for the cat here on my desk. It'll get me some free views. Oh, your cat's so cute. What else are you doing? Oh, you're doing this trading stuff? Oh, that's great. Show more of the cat, please. Yeah, low is likely in for the day here. Either this thing rebounds now or you're probably going down to like the 18, not the upper half of the 1890s handle. You're going sub 1900 unless this thing like bounces right now. Crap. It looks like silver's in the same spot. Just waiting on the thing to load. Wow. Check that out. There's a peak in your low distribution right there. It's almost like it picked out the low for the day. Wow. Yeah. Ain't that crazy. Okie doke. I wonder why my y-axis on my price isn't loading. It's loading on some of my other charts that I have on my screen, but I don't... Like, what's going on here? Let's check out oil. Whoa, oil's getting smacked. What the hell is going on with oil? Let's see here. Any new information? Brazil's Petrobras. We will raise gasoline prices. We will raise diesel prices. Whoa. Those are actually quite big increases. Wow. Let's see here. Traders raise ECB peak rates to 4%. Barclays cuts GDP for China. Great. Alrighty. Whoa. German current conditions are really shit. A net 60% of respondents expect rate cuts next year, the biggest conviction since November of 2008. Wow. Whoa. Pound spiked on that UK number. FX should move stably, reflecting the fundamentals from the BOJ. We are not targeting absolute FX levels when intervening. Rapid FX moves are undesirable. Gotcha. They're about to cause some rapid FX moves. When the Bank of Japan says they're going to do something, Bank of Japan has a way with words where, like, the opposite usually happens. But then again, that's with most central banks anyways. They say, oh, we're not going to do something. And then exactly that thing happens. They say, oh, we're not going to hike. And then they hike. Oh, we're going to hike. And then they pause. How much you guys want to bet that the low's in on oil right now? Let's go back here. Right at the edge of your distribution for the day. Let's put the indicator right there at the price and see what it'll give us. I don't know, maybe I should open a paper trade account with TradingView and take paper trades during these live streams so that then we can actually see the performance, right? That'd be a cool little idea. Because not all of these assets that I do charts on, I am actually trading or want to trade. Either I already have exposure in another part of my portfolio, or I'm just not interested because I can't get leverage worth jack on some of these assets. And also managing like 30, 40 positions as one guy sometimes can be on the more hectic side. So it's like either buy and hold and then micromanage a few things, or try automation, right? Those are kind of the only two scenarios there. Let's see. What else is there to do? We can go over TLT. TLT. Well, it's not open yet, so not totally useful. Let's check out ZB. ZB is effectively the derivative of TLT, right? See, here's TLT. You got this big sweeping down move, this bump, and then a low. Big sweeping down move. Oh, yeah. That's it. Big sweeping down move, bump, and there's your low. You can see how much more data there is here than on TLT. Okay, yeah. I'd be careful of going like way down here, closing this really horribly, because these yields are going up probably to here. I would not be surprised to see US 10-year yields up here. Would not be surprised to see this. I mean, those are some pretty good probabilities of actually reaching that spot. Let's see here. Canadian yields. Yeah, poor data. We can check out Bitcoin for the day. I bet a lot of you guys have been waiting for this specific thing. Let's check out Bitcoin for the day. Our range probabilities for the day. Yeah, we're gonna have to. Really, is that 1% up there? Yeah, that is 1%. Sheesh. Okay. Let's use 5,000 bars, please. Pretty please. And M oscillator, negative. Kind of doing a whole lot of nothing. Range probabilities. Tell me your secrets. All right, expanded pivots. Da da da. Yeah, this ain't all that helpful in all seriousness. Either catching a low here, but we're already so forward in time that it doesn't seem like it'd be a fantastic buy around this spot right here. So it's like nominal shorts are roughly around there. Nominal buys are roughly around here. And then you start dealing with a bit of uncertainty. You're going to have wide stops on this thing. God, your first entries in this are going to be so small. Like the entry here has to have that kind of crazy stop. Yeah, this is like a swing only sort of scenario. So let's go to 12-hour, load up weekly odds, how Bitcoin looks like on the week. That was so close. Okay, wow. Those high odds are super skewed. I need the lines for this for sure. All right, let's load the probability lines so I can see where the 50 percentile or 50th quartile is. So roughly around this spot right here is decent spot to take a short. But even then, your stop's going to be like way, way high. Yeah, it's like $2,000 stop for the week, just to make sure you don't have any spike bullshit come and hit you. And then on the downside, it looks pretty good for like the first 5% down. Yeah, it looks pretty good for the first like 5% worth of move down on buying dips. But yeah, once you go past, this is like a slippery slope. Yeah, either 50% of the time you're moving 5% down, and then the other 50% of the time you're moving anywhere between 5 to 15% down. That's not a lot of fun. So that means like, hey, I don't know, maybe buy on the days that there's like an 8 to 12% dip. Those seem like reasonably fantastic spots to be snapping up some Bitcoin. Yeah, days like that. Right? Days like that, days like that. Yeah, days like that. Yeah, it's all looking pretty good. Pretty good. One more thing. The Discord, remember, if you guys want to hang out, come hop in to the Discord. Come say hi, hang out in the daily plan, and yeah, we'll be going over. Actually, it's in like 3 minutes that we get the Canadian data, so let's just stick around here. I was thinking literally about ending the stream like right now, but we're getting the Canadian data in like 3 minutes, so why the hell not stream it? What we want is the calendar. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Forgot to hit transition. Okie doke. Let's actually. U.S. retail sales, a lot. Bank of Canada core. Yeah, we're getting a lot of. Yeah, USD CAD's about to get insanely volatile.
One minute remaining. I'll lead with US retail sales month over month.
All right. Best of luck, guys.
Ten seconds. Spot 7%, 7% higher than forecast, 4%. Canadian CPI year over year at 3.3%, 3.3% higher than forecast, 3%. Month over month, 6%, 6% higher than forecast, 3%. For the US, core retail sales month over month at 1%, 1% higher than forecast, 4%. The New York Fed manufacturing at minus 19, that is lower than the forecast of minus 1. Import prices month over month at 0.4%, 0.4%, higher than forecast 0.2%. So US export prices month over month at 0.7%, 0.7%, that's higher than forecast 0.2%. So for Canada then, do you get the manufacturing sales month over month at minus 1.7%, minus 1.7%, higher than forecast at minus 2%. Bank of Canada's core CPI year over year at 3.2%, 3.2%, which is unchanged from the prior read, while month over month at 0.5%, 0.5%. Canadian CPI trim at 3.6%, 3.6% as expected. The median at 3.7%, 3.7% as expected. The common at 4.8%, 4.8%. And core CPI month over month for Canada at 0.3%, 0.3%. So looking to the markets here, a little bit of weakness in the S&P 500, some strength in the dollar as well. Also noticed some strength in the Canadian dollar following the hotter than expected inflation print out of Canada there. And US retail sales year over year now at 3.17%, 3.17%. So noting the prior revisions here, US retail sales prior revised up to 0.4% from 0.3%. Canadian CPI median prior revised down to 3.7% from 3.9%. US import prices month over month, the prior was revised up to minus 0.1% from minus 0.2%. And US export prices prior revised up to minus 0.7% from minus 0.9%.
Thank you very much. Financial Juice. So, how did you guys do? Did you trade this? Are you waiting for it to go a bit higher? I don't know about you, but when I look at these yield differentials, they look like they just got more negative. So, seems like a good spot to add to a. So, I'm going to go ahead and put one on. Gonna put it in my boss trades chat. Just a small ad here. Let's go ahead, add in a brand spanking new drawing. Let's make sure that this is set globally so you guys can actually see the drawing. Unhide. Okie doke. So we can lock that for now. Okie doke. This is the setup that I took. It's a little bit in drawdown, but that's okay. And hopefully we get this move up here. That'll be a bit more optimal for the week. But on the economic data, seeing how the yield spreads got pretty negative in reaction to it on the shortest of short term, I'm like, I'm gonna take a little nibble, just a wee little nibble, short, to add to this. Joel, what time is it now? It's 5:35 for me in the morning right now. Very, very early. All right, well, this stream went on for a lot longer than I had originally anticipated. I'm trying to keep these streams to be like, 30, 45 minutes, but, when you have economic events like this going down, it'll add an extra 20, 30, 40 minutes to a typically short stream. I'll have to say thank you all for watching. You got to see me put on, another little trade here. We'll see if it actually works out. The odds are certainly in my favor, especially considering the probability of another, of a more slightly hawkish Bank of Canada just went up on this economic surprise that we had out of Canada today. So I was like, ah, crap. If because of this surprise data out of Canada, I need to be cautious that, if we didn't actually go up here because we didn't get the weak data I was hoping for, I should probably take a stab at it here. So that's what I did. And we'll see if that's the right decision come the end of the month. Alrighty, you guys. If you want about an hour or two more, you can come hop into the Plan to Profit Discord. Links in the description. I'll be in here hanging out. If you want to speak, you can just raise your hand. Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Been your boss, Joe Boss. And I'll see you guys tomorrow in a bit. That was a pretty good stream, huh? I think that trade's gonna work out pretty alright on dollar CAD. It really depends relative to how the US dollar performs, so that's why you just take things a little easy.